How's it going, family? We've been at it for quite some time, teaching about money and possessions, and today we finally wrap it up. This is the young preview for what I'll be covering next. I'll be going into the book of Mark. I'll be covering chapter 15, starting from verse 33. I'll be covering the death of Jesus. It's quite pivotal, quite powerful. I like the part about when he screams, Eloi, Eloi, lema sabachthani, which means, my God, why have you abandoned me? Not our God, but he's God. But for today, let's get into Matthew 6, verse 34. Take therefore no thought for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. We always stress about the future, and people always tell us to stress about the future and plan for the future. Yes, I'm not saying ignore the future in itself, but learn to focus on the present moment, because every day has its own blessings and challenges to look forward to. So now as we close this chapter with a profound teaching about time, trust, and spiritual presence, take no thought, for the morrow is not an instruction to neglect planning or responsibility. Morrow symbolizes the unknown future, the place where fear projects its shadow. You know, when you always keep thinking and projecting the worst into the future, and then it ends up happening because you are worrying too much about the future instead of focusing on the present moment. The thought represents anxious anticipation, the mind's habit of leaving the present moment and living in imagined suffering. Jesus is telling the soul to stop stepping into tomorrow with fear, because fear belongs to a realm God has not yet given you to walk in. For the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself symbolizes divine order. Tomorrow carries its own provision, its own solutions, its own strength, and its own grace. This means the future has already been prepared spiritually even before you arrive in it. Here it is that telling you that you are not meant to drag tomorrow's weight into today. Every day arrives with exactly what is needed for that day. Might be heavy. You want to get out of a particular situation. But now, the problem is, if we project into the future and not take it day by day, the suffering prolongs itself. The challenges keep getting heavier. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof uses the language to describe the challenges of the present moment. Evil here does not mean moral wickedness. It symbolizes difficulty, burden, pressure, and the natural challenges that each day contains. The message is simple. Today has enough for you to deal with. Adding tomorrow's imagined burdens overwhelms the soul and blinds it to the grace available now. Jesus is teaching that anxiety is the result of living in a time that does not belong to you yet. Worry is a thief that pulls you out of the present. And there's a scripture about that. Hey, I think it goes and says, worry is the thief of joy in itself. The only place where God's presence, strength, and clarity exist. This verse calls you to remain grounded where you are, trusting that tomorrow already has its own divine structure waiting for you. Because it addresses one of the most important principles psychologically. The human mind is not built to carry the weight of tomorrow. When Jesus says, take no thought for the morrow, he is describing how the brain becomes overwhelmed when it tries to process threats or uncertainties that are not happening in the present moment. This is the essence of anxiety. The mind can only regulate effectively when it is focused on what is real and immediate. When the brain projects fear into the future, it triggers the amygdala and activates a stress response. The body releases cortisol and adrenaline, even though no real danger exists. This is why anxiety feels physically exhausting. Your nervous system reacts as though the imagined event is happening right now. Literally. Because as we were saying in some of the scriptures we were speaking about, imagine the mind in itself cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is imagined threats. It takes whatever you give it and it processes it. For the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. reflects a psychological truth. Resilience, insight, and strength appear when the moment requires them. The brain is adaptive. When faced with actual challenges, the prefrontal cortex engages. Problem solving activates, creativity heightens, and the mind accesses resources it does not have in anticipatory fear. Jesus is teaching that the brain is designed to rise to real situations, not imagined ones. So use the beautiful faculties of your imagination to deal with actual situations you have now. Stop trying to project into the future and deal with situations you have no control over as yet. Deal with what you have control over in the immediate moment. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof, acknowledges that each day contains its own challenges. Worrying about tomorrow multiplies burdens and overwhelms the nervous system. This is known as cognitive overload. The mind collapses under weight it was never meant to carry. This verse teaches the architecture of mental health. Stay in the present. Let tomorrow's strength meet tomorrow's challenges. Your mind is equipped for today, not for the imaginary future your fear creates. When you stay present, your nervous system regulates, your clarity increases, and your capacity expands naturally. This verse in itself expresses a core principle found everywhere in nature and cosmos. Life unfolds one day at a time, and each day carries its own provision, challenges, and energy. Everything operates by cycles, seasons, and timing. Nothing in nature attempts to live tomorrow before tomorrow arrives. This verse aligns human consciousness with that same universal rhythm. Take no thought for the morrow. Literally reflects the law of divine timing. The future is a realm that has not yet opened. When you project fear into it, you vibrate outside of your rightful season. This misalignment disrupts your energetic flow and blocks intuition. Cosmic law states that the clarity comes in the moment. It is needed, not earlier, not later. That's why sometimes you'll understand some of the lessons you are learning right now. You'll understand them looking back and not looking forward. Stay in the moment, learn the lesson, let it be over. The universe reveals guidance, literally step by step. Might think I do these teachings more for everyone. Hey, you know what I'm saying? They say if you can teach a thing, you understand it even better. In all honesty, I do most of these teachings for myself, but I just choose to share them on a public platform as well. For the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself, mirrors the natural principle of self-regulation. Ecosystems regulate themselves, seasons nourish what they produce. Pollinators appear when flowers bloom. Rain arrives when the land requires it. The energy of tomorrow already contains the solutions and resources meant for tomorrow. This is cosmic orchestration at work. When you trust this, you return to the rhythm of creation. And some of it speaks to myself. I saw in myself right now in the season I've been going through right now. I forgot how to be one with the rhythm of creation itself. Because what you need to understand is everyone is co-creators. You are literally creating with Source all the time. Source follows what you seek and ask for it, and it creates it on your behalf. So make sure you are co-creating that which is your highest truth and that which you seeketh. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof, aligns with the law of energetic load. Each day carries a vibration calibrated for that day's challenges and lessons. Taking on future burdens creates energetic debt. It drains strength that belongs to the present moment. Nature never carries extra weight. Trees do not store the stress of next year's storms. Animals do not fear next season's drought. They move according to today, literally. This law teaches that when you stay in the day you are in, your vibration remains stable. Stability attracts clarity, support, and provision. But when you leap ahead in fear, you step outside of alignment, and life feels chaotic. This verse calls you to live in rhythm with the universe, present, trusting, and aligned. As long as you are moving towards your goals, take it one day at a time. Do not try to project too far. Remember even one time my ancestors were saying to me, I should stop trying to project too far into the future and focus on the short term. Provision, yeah, they were trying to get me. Focus on the now. The future will unfold itself. Do not preempt and look into the future too much. It causes calamity. You know, when we're trying to hold on to every cent because we're trying to predict the future, that's a catastrophe. That catastrophe will come to be. Focus on the now. Provision comes, keep on living as normal. Push, push, push. And keep getting more and more. Store if you want to. But do not have imagined fears in your mind. Those will destroy you. The scripture itself gives one of the most practical and freeing instructions for modern life. Stop living in tomorrow and losing today. When Jesus says, take no thought for the morrow, he is showing you how to protect your mental health, emotional energy, and spiritual grounding. Most anxiety comes from living in a day that hasn't arrived yet. You imagine problems that have not happened. You suffer consequences that don't exist. You prepare for pain that may never come. This verse invites you to reclaim your focus. Ask yourself, is this happening now? Is this fear real or imagined? Do I have the strength today to handle today? Focus on today. Let all these crazy people keep knocking at your door and frustrating you. Like I used to be an external audit, you just keep looking, dreading every single day until the day you sign. Every day takes everything out of you because you've already imagined how dreadful all the days in between are going to be. And they end up being exactly like you imagined. Jesus is not telling you to avoid planning, he's telling you to avoid panicking about a future you cannot control. Planning is wisdom, worry is torture. For the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself, teaches you that life is designed to give you tomorrow's strength once tomorrow arrives. Have you noticed how challenges feel overwhelming when you think about them ahead of time? But when the moment comes, you suddenly find the courage, clarity, or support you need. That is the principle Jesus is pointing to. Grace is released in real time, not in advance. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. Encourages you to focus on what it is in front of you now. Today has enough assignments, your growth, your decisions, your responsibilities, your opportunities. What overwhelms you is not today's weight, but the imaginary weight of tomorrow stacked on top of it. This means do what you can today. Release what belongs to tomorrow. Trust that the future strength will meet future challenges. Protect your mind by staying present. This verse frees you from the prison of future fear and brings you back into the only place where power exists now. And this is where we wrap it up. Hope you enjoyed these teachings. I know I did. I learn a lot as I read and decipher the Bible. It's a powerful, powerful book. Mystical in nature. And now, as I said at the beginning, I'll just give you a preview, of course, of Mark 15, verse 33, where we'll be starting the theme now. For those who don't know, I use an NIV Bible. I like it just for the way it breaks down certain stories, not necessarily for reading it. I try to go to the older versions of the Bible for the actual verses. I just don't have the KJV or an older Bible in front of me right now, so I'll read it from my NIV. Verse 33, at noon, darkness fell across the whole land until 3 o'clock. Let's decipher this and go very mystically into the death of Jesus, which I like to say is the death of yourself. The old must die for the new to be born. Remember that. Until next time, family, let's start our new series.